Assalamu alaikum, people. Y'all know the routine. I had to get out here a little earlier today. I got a full slate today. No, I have to go. First, I got to go to a funeral to pay homage to the man that basically put me inside the game. The game, I mean, in the corporate world. The man that made me do and help me accomplish the things I need to accomplish. At the time of demise, he's not here anymore. But, this is where I clear my head at. I come do squats, I do push-ups, I do pull-ups, and then I got to go start my day. So that's what I have to do. But I just wanted to come on here right quick and just, give a little synopsis to what I was talking about yesterday, dealing with the homosexual activity, the booty warriors inside, the United States ghettos, inside the gang culture. And sometimes, man, a lot of brothers, man, they be in denial about certain things that will transpire. And they be knowing that things be happening, but they be denying. They be in denial. They don't, just because brothers be having these reputations, or brothers be, on this particular type of level, they be thinking brothers don't be getting down like that, bro. But they do, man. Brothers be swinging like that. Brothers be moving like that. Now, let me give you a time frame of this type of stuff, man. I just know from the stories from the brothers a generation older than me on how they used to tell me stories, like when they was in the county jails in the 80s, 79 and the 80s. So I'm going to say from the 70s to 1998, that's when the homosexual activity was really, really high, on a high level, in the county jails and inside the penitentiary. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that every individual in the group was a part of that type of situation, but you did have sexual deviants from every section, bro. And if dudes sit up there and say that they homeboys never participated in that type of stuff, bro, they're a damn lie. So let me give you guys a little history, man, on in the 80s, man, like when I went in there in 1984. When I hit in 4800 in 1984, bro, you had a lot of individuals up in there, brother, on that type of time, man. You had dudes with straight bandits, bro, up in there, bro. And if a dude sit there and tell you that it wasn't no bandits up in there, brother, he's not being truthful with you. They're not being honest. They're not keeping it on an even keel. And did dudes overlook that? Yes, a lot of brothers overlooked that type of situation. Because I'm going to tell you like this, bro. In 1984, it was a lot of us up in there, man. We was like 18. I'm talking about a lot of us up in there, bro. We was real young, bro. We was 18. It got to the point where it started getting real, real bad up in there, man. Dudes getting raped. You hear dudes getting beat up. Dudes getting choked out. Dudes screaming and hollering all fucking night. You'll wake up and go to the chow hall the next morning. You see the dudes in the shower where they done got raped. His jumpsuit is tore all up and all that type of stuff, man. And it was like, to the point, man, it was like a gruesome type situation, man. And then you had like older homies up in there that was older than us. And I was asking, one of my old comrades that was older than me, I was like, man, what's up with that? And he was like, man, at least, if it don't happen to you, it ain't none of your business and stuff like that. So these individuals, they overlook that stuff, bro. These older individuals overlook that. But the cold part about it is they made rules and regulations that you couldn't do that. But when certain individuals did that, man, they overlooked that. I don't know what the reason was at that particular time. But as I got older, I learned that it becomes selective. Certain dudes will get in trouble for that, and certain dudes won't get in trouble for that. So like I said, man, I've seen a lot of brothers, man, get raped, get violated, get gang raped, and all that type of stuff. I'm talking about, I was in there. It's like when you on Denver Road or Baker Road, there's like a catwalk, and with a catwalk where the police walk through, it's like a mirror reflection. So you can see down in the mirror reflection in dude's cells. So one night it was me, Lil Sad, Lil Doc, we was all in Denver 12. We all young at that time. We all like 18 years old. And I'm talking about we all young. All four of us, I don't know who the other brother is, but I remember like it was yesterday, man. It was four of us up in there. We was all young. Lil Sad had a hot one. I had some wino time. Lil Doc had some little wino time. And the other brother, he had some little wino time. But we was all young. It was right after where the East Coasters and the Hoovers had that riot up in 4800. So they moved all the coasters and the neighborhoods on Baker and Denver Road and moved all the gangsters and Hoovers on Abel and Charlie Road. So me and Doc and Lil Sad, we made a pact. Like, if one of them dudes approached us in that particular type of manner, we was all gonna get on them, you know. So we all bust down, you know, some iron. We all had iron on us at that time. We all had knives on us. But we made sure that, like, you know how when dudes was coming into your cell and chilling like that, we never let nobody come in our cell, bro. We didn't trust nothing. We didn't trust the OGs. We didn't trust the dudes coming down from the pen. We just didn't trust nothing. Because it's like brothers was really, really sexual demons up in there, man. And I'm saying at that time in the 80s, the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, it was on a high level, bro. Now in 1998, in Calipatra, when I was in Calipatra, what we did was the Crips, the Bloods, and the Muslims got together, and we came to a point where we got tired of seeing the brothers on the yard getting into it behind these homosexuals. So we didn't press on the individuals that was messing with the homosexual. We pressed on the homosexuals and told them to get up off the yard. Okay. So once we done that, we told them to get off out the yard. They kindly got up off the yard. And, you know, and lo and behold, you did have some brothers that was mad about that. You know, even the ones that wasn't in the cell with them, they was mad about that because, you know, the opportunity is there for them to, you know, to go in there and have relations with these dudes and stuff like that. So they was mad about that. But you got to understand, in that time, in 1998, Calipatra was a danger zone. You know, it was a politic zone with a point where you couldn't do too much of nothing. If you did anything wrong, you was gonna get your head handed to you up in there. So they messed around and probably moved, I believe they moved all the homosexuals to CMC. They moved them all to Jamestown or something like that. But on a level 4 at that time, it was like a domino effect. Brothers started getting them dudes up off the yard because it caused more harm than good, which it was a good thing, you know, because, you know, it was a more calm environment, you know, at that particular time. Now, everybody from every section have somebody that delved off into that. If that's what dudes want to do, that's what dudes do. You know what I'm saying? But it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic in that culture. It's like to the point, man, where it's like a demon type situation. I be telling the brothers, man, I be like, man, when brothers be dealing like this, it's like a jinn attached to them, or like an evil spirit attached to these brothers, man, until they come to the understanding that they don't supposed to be doing this type of things. But it happens up in there, man. So if anybody is telling you guys, bro, that this stuff don't happen, they are lie. Anybody, brother, that been in the county jail, been to the penitentiary, they done seen all these type of activities, bro. And sometimes, man, dudes, like I say, man, dudes will turn a blind eye to it because they'll say, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't me, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you'll have another dude from another section and another dude from another section ready to clash over this individual, you know what I'm saying, this transformer or this brother that choose to come up there and service the men inside the penitentiary. So you have these dudes, and what that'll do is that'll start a whole full-fledged war over, you know, the buttocks. So it's like, man, I'll be trying to get dudes to understand, you know, that this stuff it's not to the point where it never happened, but in this day and age, it's become the norm. Meaning that you have dudes, bro, that's really, really part of that gang culture, and they be on some straight man on man type relationship stuff, but they still be a part of this section. Some of them will keep it like behind closed doors, and some dudes will be like, straight up, man, I'm from the section, but this is what I do, and sometimes, man, you got a lot of dudes, man, they accept that, they will accept that. You got to understand this, because I was talking to a brother yesterday, man, one of my ex-comrades, and we was breaking that stuff down, man. Back then, we would get in trouble for that. We would get blamed for that. In this day and age, it's the norm, bro. Brothers are, you hear stories, or you'll see dudes, man, they be on these pills, they be on that lean, they'll be on them oxys, they be on that spice and stuff like that, man. They'll take them pills, man, and just start getting freaky with each other, bro. This is what they doing out there, bro. So, the gang banging or United States culture, criminal activity have took a turn for the worse. I mean, when I say for the worse, it started off, the Bloods and the Crips, it started off with a thing that they want to do something positive for their community. Then it turned into dudes getting into it with each other over females, and that started a bunch of wars. And when that started a bunch of wars, you had other sections and other crews start taking, we on y'all side, or we on this side, and we on this side, and we on this side. So that's when it started spreading, when dudes have be enemies with one another. It's just like the 60s are warring with the gangsters, but we don't really have no problem with the Hoovers, but the Hoovers would be alliance with the gangsters. So they become an enemy. You know how that stuff go. So, and this what happens, man, in this type of society, it always happens. It seems like it happens, man, all these wars, all this stuff that goes on, it's happening behind some sexual type, deviant type stuff, bro. It's not happening behind, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying the majority of it is behind a female. Now, you probably have some skirmishes, dudes. I don't know about Compton. I don't know about Watts or nothing like that, but you probably had wars starting off because dudes want to squabble with each other because dudes was wearing a red flag or blue flag, or, dudes didn't like each other and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to speak on certain individual sections what I don't know nothing about. I can speak to how my experience was going on inside the United States ghettos. So these type of things that happens, man, rapidly inside these communities, it's become the norm. And a lot of brothers, man, they tend not to speak on this type of situation, because I'm gonna tell you like this, brother, it's more harm than good, because we have sisters, we have women, we have, irregardless of what race, color, or creed is, man, you have brothers be on the down low, bro. And when brothers be on the down low, they be wanting a woman, and they be want to delve off into, the other side. And when they do that, brother, they putting the women at risk, bringing home diseases and stuff like that. And, you got to understand, if, certain individuals, certain brothers, that if they full-fledged homosexuals, they have this type of disposition where they act like women, they be some, no disrespect to the women, but, the emotions be very, very high, and they be running rapid, they be screaming, they be hollering, they be doing all type of weird stuff. So, and they'll get emotional, so they expose these dudes as having these relationships with them, and that's very devastating for the women, bro. And we don't look at it like that. Now, we have this thing, bro, like, man, if you want to rock that way, bro, go ahead and rock that way, man. We have no problem with that. We have no quarrels with that. But if you sitting there secretly doing it, that's where the problem comes in. That's where you lose respect. That's where you lose, your dignity and all that type of stuff, man. Because it's like this, bro. I always believe, if you was born a man, you a man. You can never underestimate a man, irregardless if he's a homosexual or he's not a homosexual. You can't never do that, man, because the most powerful dudes on this planet, man, they delve off in that type of atmosphere and that type of things, dealing with the nappy dugout, and they dealing with the pussy. So we need to understand on this high level, man, that it's an epidemic, brother. Not just in the United States ghetto, all over the world right now, bro. That's a real live epidemic. I don't care if you're in Indonesia, if you're over there in Iran, if you're in Iraq, if you're in the United States, if you're in China, whatever it is, bro, even with the women. This is something, man, that is taking on the whole society. And we don't understand, man. It's like, if you can see it, it's not a gang culture, so to speak. It's starting to become a worldwide nation culture. And it's going to be, in a minute, it's going to be the good against the evil. Watch what I tell you. It's going to be the war against the good and evil. So I'm saying this because, a lot of brothers, they don't understand, the dynamics of what's going on. You can tell that, you have stories where, even some of these youngsters out here, you can tell they own that stuff, man. They even selling their ass for cars, money, or whatever it is, man. Whatever they can get, man, they'll let a nigga tap that ass. And if somebody don't find out about it, you're just not gonna find out about it. So I'm just saying this, bro. This stuff is real. This stuff need to be touched on. It don't need to be to the point where brothers try to hide it. Brothers have to come to grips with it, because I had to come to grips with it, bro. Because it's like this. When I first came home, I never used to take no clients, brother, that was batting on that side of the ball, right? And then I had to be convinced by the people in the corporate world that, to me, they had to convince me that if I was being biased towards that community, I'm not going to reach the next level. So I started taking on clients that was dealing with that, moving like that. But I was always being firm, in my disposition. Like, I don't rock that way. I don't deal with that. I was very, very clear on that. And it's like, they would respect that, but they'll tell you, and I'm gonna tell you, bro, they'll tell you, they cool people at times because they're human beings, and they'll tell you, like, they can spot when dudes are on a down low, and they'll tell you, like, man, that dude's on the down low, that dude is this dude is that. They'll tell you that, bro. But I think this is something that needs to be touched on, on its highest level, so people can be aware, brothers can be safe. For the youngsters that's out there in the community, don't go to jail, bro. If you like boys, you know what I'm saying, you might as well just be gay out here on the streets, bro. You don't need to be in the penitentiary just because you want to be gay. You can be gay out here, bro. And that's just what that is, man. But it's like, you guys understand, man, that this stuff is real. Y'all know it's real because y'all see it every day now. I believe that a lot of us have family members that swing like that. This is something that need to be addressed. But hey, if you call yourself a real man or a real thug or something like that, bro, you're not a real thug, brother, if you moving like that, man. If you're moving like that. Now, if you just a part of because you do have gay gangs inside the penitentiary. If you're part of a gay gang and all that type of stuff, man, and them dudes is killers, though. They killers too now. Don't get it messed up, man. They will smack that butt in a heartbeat, bro. Even though they like that ass, they will do something to you. If you want to be a part of that community and you want to be a gang member, I think that the brothers that are swinging on that way, you guys need to form your own type of group, community, or wherever it is, brother, and not try to intertwine with the brothers that's on the straight path. And on that note, man, Assalamu alaikum.